Welcome back for week 2 of how Jesus prayed. This week, we're going to focus on one aspect of the life or the prayer life of Jesus himself. And that is that in the biggest moments when Jesus performed like the biggest miracles, there's something fascinating about his prayers. It's that at those moments of the biggest miracles, his prayers were at their shortest. When something huge was about to happen, Jesus prayed very short prayers that preceded those miracles. And I got to be honest, when I feel like I need the biggest miracle, that's when my prayers get the longest. I get really long-winded when I feel like I'm asking God to do big things. But for Jesus, it was the opposite. And I think that that's something we can learn from. And so this week, we're going to focus on short prayers Jesus prayed every single day. And we're going to make really short prayers asking God to do really big things. Now, does that mean that long prayers are bad or wrong? It does not. Does that mean that when we need God to do big things for the rest of our lives, we need to pray short prayers? No. But this is all about how Jesus prayed, and we're just going to learn from him. And the fullness of what Jesus was doing here won't even be clear this week as we focus in on it. It won't really be until next week when we see something else from the prayer life of Jesus that this is really going to have the full effect on us and I think impact our prayer lives. But today, I want us to just focus on the story at the end of Mark chapter 4 where Jesus performed a huge eye-popping miracle. He calmed the storm when his disciples and he were in the boat. He's asleep in the back. Some of you know this story really well. The storm comes. It's raging. They wake Jesus up. They're like, "Don't you care that we're going to die?" And Jesus gets up and prays a very short prayer, and the winds die down, and the storm ceases, and the waves calm down. And Jesus just prays 3 words. He says, "Peace, be still." And Jesus does this eye-popping miracle, but he didn't like lull the storm to sleep with a long-winded prayer. He just prayed 3 words. And the disciples were blown away. They couldn't believe that even nature itself obeyed him. And so what I want us to do is this. I want us today to focus on our need for peace in our lives. Now, the circumstances are totally different. This is a literal storm on a literal lake, and all of that. But I just want us to think metaphorically about our own lives and about the storms maybe that we're in the middle of. And the truth is that we all need peace in one way or another for one reason or another. And so what I want us to do is just think about the peace that we need in our life. Think about the situation deeply for a moment. Then think about the power and the authority of Jesus for a moment. And then what I want you to do is pray and ask Jesus for peace in your life using a very short prayer. So this is all about how Jesus prayed. Part of the prayer life of Jesus includes a bunch of really short prayers. Again, long prayers are not bad. I'm not saying don't pray for peace in a long-winded fashion at some point in your life. But for this week, I want you to think long about your need for peace. I want you to think long about the authority and power of Jesus. And then in a faith-filled prayer that's short, I want you to ask God to bring peace into your life and into that situation.